Hello, this is Nia at the Rainbow Cauldron, and this is your weekly general reading for November 23rd through the 29th, 2014. And here in the US, that's Thanksgiving week. I hope everyone has a lovely week in Thanksgiving if you celebrate. We'll be hosting this year, which is not something my husband and I are great at. We're not really the party host kind of people. But since we moved closer to family, right now we're the only ones with a house big enough to host for everyone. So it looks like we'll be more social. Anyway, so I apologize for not getting last week's reading out. That seems to be a thing for me. You know, last week my whole family, except for my husband, came down with a bad cold, one that I'm still getting over a bit, but I'm well enough to do a reading, so here I am. All right, so, okay, this week I impulsively decided to pick my Kalachakra Oracle deck for this week's reading. Oh, and actually, it's this side that has the English, um, along with the Golden Universal deck, which I love. I love this deck. I have very, very little experience with this deck, and I had to pull the cards beforehand and use the book as a guide. It's an interesting deck, but I rarely use it because, well, all the cards tend to look very, very similar, and it's just not a very intuitive deck. It's one of those decks that you really need to use the book with or completely memorize the cards. However, the best way to get more familiar with decks is to use them. So that's what I'm doing. All right, so on to the reading. Okay, so the first card, and what these represent, by the way, is the Oracle card represents the general theme or feeling throughout the week, something to think about. And then the tarot will represent the general of energy this week, and they don't represent
any specific days, just a general flow of energy that may even go back and forth. All right, so the Oracle card, it is 8 uh, Utpadamacha. Utpad, Utpadanecha. I'm not quite sure the pronunciation. All right, so the book describes this card as desiring freedom, a need to concentrate on completing a project that is important to you. So this card has to do with both freedom and concentration. What I feel this means is that there's a desire to work without limitations, without someone over your shoulder telling you what to do, how to do it, what to do next, etc. It's not quite an anti-teamwork card, but more of working without limitations and having many options to choose from. Um, you're leading the way for the project. It's important to you, so you want to be the one calling the shots, working without someone micromanaging you. And that's what we get here. All right, now onto the tarot cards. We have the Chariot, the Knight of Swords, and the Seven of Cups, or Chalices. All right. So we're seeing cards that very much fall in line with what the Kalachakra card proposed. Both the Chariot and the Knight are showing an energy of expediency and impulsiveness, charging forward. The Chariot has success in mind and a clear goal. The Knight is hyper focused on that goal, charging at full speed.
And these two cards, they really show a strong focus, something that we saw on the Kalachakra card, concentration almost to an extreme on a goal and going forward with it. Then what we have here with the Seven of Cups is showing the negative sides of that freedom of choice that we saw here. Too many options and not knowing which direction to take. What we're seeing here as a whole is a desire to work freely without micromanagement, but a reminder that sometimes we, even though we think we're going the we're going on a steadfast course, um, which we see here, that we know what we're doing, that we're on a solid path, but sometimes we need to accept that we need a little help, if only to give us a push, the push we need to choose the best course of action for ourselves, which is what we see here with the seven. All right, so that's this week's reading. I'm hoping that I won't be skipping a week again and that I can get these videos out more consistently. I will definitely work on that and try to get these out more consistently, and so that you're not guessing when I'll have another video out. So, all right. Well, thank you so much for watching, and happy Thanksgiving, and blessed be.